Infinite as Sprint! Ha 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 ha! Halo is dead! This is inevitably the reaction of a significant amount of Halo fans today, as the Xbox Game Showcase finally showed some Halo Infinite campaign gameplay, revealing that sprint, sliding, clamber, and a grapple hook are going to be advanced mobility mechanics included in Halo Infinite. We did not see any thrusting, so we do not know if there will be any future Shotzzy's sprint thrust sliding into your girl's DMs. But it could still be a possibility, so treat your girl right. On the other side of the coin, there are surely equally bad takes that Halo Infinite is saved due to the inclusion of Sprint. Because obviously, if I like Sprint and it's in Halo, the game has to be great. I mean, I won Halo Infinite. My side won. Wieners. I mean winners. Whether you are for or against Sprint in Halo, I really just want to reiterate that none of us have played Halo Infinite. I want everyone to take a deep breath, relax, and go into Halo Infinite with an open mind. Just because Halo Infinite has Sprint doesn't make it a good or bad game. Maybe you disagree, but just give it a chance. People on the internet are so quick to judge a game that they haven't even played. I'm convinced people just like to argue and be miserable. Some may argue that Sprint adds to the complexity of balancing the game, and there can be truth in that, but there are so many popular, successful, and objectively good games out there that include Sprint. It is 343's responsibility to make Halo a good game above all else, regardless of Sprint. No one has ever even seen multiplayer gameplay. We've only seen a campaign reveal. Obviously, these mechanics aren't gonna just be campaign only, but there are a lot of questions that still need to be answered, and the answers to these questions are really what make or break the multiplayer in my opinion. Questions like, is Sprint unlimited? Does everyone spawn with a grapple hook, or is it treated as a power weapon that everyone needs to battle for? Is the grapple hook unlimited? What's the cooldown timer for the grapple hook and thrust, assuming it's in the game? The grapple hook is recharging in the campaign reveal, which leads me to believe that it will be the same in multiplayer. However, I think all things are on the table until we get confirmation from 343 or see it in use in the multiplayer gameplay. Obviously, we have already had 3 Halo titles with Sprint in it. Everyone has already played those games, and some have made the judgment to dislike Sprint in Halo based on hundreds or thousands of hours of previous titles. If you genuinely disliked any or all of the Sprint Halos, who am I to tell you you're wrong? But if you're going into Halo Infinite wanting to hate it, chances are, yeah, you will hate it. I personally have always been on the classic gameplay team, and I would have preferred a more classic style Halo Infinite. Maybe the long, painful wait over the past 5 years has broken me. I'm no longer fighting the good fight against Sprint, but I'm willing to take a new Sprint-based Halo over no Halo at all. But even with Sprint, I'm still really excited for a new Halo multiplayer to play. Although I would have preferred no Sprint in Halo 5, I still think that Halo 5 was genuinely a good game and would be universally acclaimed if it wasn't deemed a Halo game. Imagine the Halo franchise died after Halo 3, and a new studio put out a new IP that was Halo 5's multiplayer. I think Halo fans would have universally loved the gameplay. Sure, some players wouldn't, and some would have the feeling that it's pretty close to Halo, but it just isn't quite Halo. And for those people, I really feel for you. It seems that you're never going to get the game you want, at least from the Halo franchise. But for the majority of people, I think that if they went into Halo 5 with an open mind, they would be surprised at the fun they could have. and I think everyone should be cautious to not go into Infinite with predetermined opinions. Regardless, it seems that no sprint Halo games are truly a thing of the past. The no sprint community has been very vocal about not wanting sprint in Infinite, but this has obviously been ignored. 343 must feel that the majority of Halo fans do want sprint in the game, despite backlash from part of the community. Being vocal clearly isn't enough to deter 343 Industries from including sprint. The only way to really get your message to 343 that you don't want sprint is to hurt their bottom line. If you're truly anti-sprint, the only way you're going to get your way is to not buy or not play Halo Infinite. 343 would need to see extremely poor sales figures and plummeting player numbers in order to consider removing sprint from future games. But are you willing to do that? Some people might be, but I personally am not. Even though I prefer classic gameplay, I just honestly don't dislike Sprint Halo enough to not buy it or not play the game. I'm still looking forward to committing my entire existence to getting good at Halo Infinite. Again, some people genuinely do not like Sprint in Halo, and I'm not here to invalidate your opinion. It's fine to like or dislike Sprint in Halo. It definitely gave me that oof feeling when I saw Sprint in the campaign trailer. But that doesn't determine whether or not Halo Infinite will be good. Halo Infinite can still succeed. It is just up to 343 to make a well-balanced and rewarding experience.